Experience itself was like when you were applying for the loan. Tell me about that process.
It was really rigorous. Actually, when we went for the intervention fund, for the facility, there was a window of opportunity that opened to produce a production opportunity came up, and so we wanted to work with that company, and we needed our own money as well, and so we went to the Bank of Industry. But the process was, like I said, because we were one of the first people they would work with in our industry, and it was an industry they did want to get into, but I think they felt that there was a kind of laissez-faire attitude that we artistic people tend to have. People like us, it's not as if we're not going to pay you, but of course we're going to pay you back, but we had to go through the process of knowing that there are just some processes that have to be followed, So there was, first of all, there's a form that you have to fill, and it asks you for all kinds of paperwork. We're looking for the kind of collateral that would be beneficial to both parties. Yeah. I remember there was a time we were looking at shares, but when we looked at the shares, we was like, hey, wait a minute. That really ties us, it ties us down. It ties us, we won't be able to use those shares for anything, So we were just, what I loved about working with them was that they worked with us and the bank from which it was a BoI facilitated facility, and there was no bribing of anybody. It was just define everything in place, and then the papers were signed and we got the facility.
Generally, it seems politically incorrect to admit that you're in a particular field or career because of the money. And I'm not referring to you because you have proven over the years, 30 plus years, that you are committed to this industry. But I want to know from you, is it possible to do theater and be wealthy?
Oh yes, it is. It definitely is. It is possible. We're not there yet. We've been there, because if you think of the early years with the forefathers of theater, people like Ogunde, Adelove, Ade Afolayan, Babasala, then before he had that calamity with his film, So it is possible. Yes, there has been a downturn in theater, but there is a lot of energy in that space again.
In your own case, what exactly are the things that you use the funds for? For instance, did you get equipment? Did you have to pay people, workers? What did you use the funds for exactly?
For us, we started out as for a production, but because the process took so long, we missed that window. But we've always wanted it for a production anyway, and that's what we are still doing. But one of the things I must say is that Nolly Fund not only has it funded equipment, it has also it's funded equipment, it's funded various productions, and production houses.
How do you generate content? Do you have a team of writers that regularly come to work here, that are on your payroll, or researchers that work here, or you source for scripts? How do you operate here?
It's just that sometimes we are approached, like we were for whether it was the 2012 Olympics, or we were approached by Professor Ahmed Yarima for the NDDC. And sometimes it's that we've come across work, that we say, oh wow, that's interesting, Or sometimes somebody brings their work to us and says, oh, we'd like you to produce this for us, because they see the level of our production, and that we've done that for banks, various banks as well. They've seen our work over the years, Now, how do we source for the material that we show them? We're constantly reading, we're constantly aware of what is happening within the industry. Like I say, people send us their work. Sometimes we'll say, oh, okay, let's try this one out. This is a new thing. It will work for this client or something like that. Yeah.
Anytime the Bank of Industry gives out loans to a particular organization, they're also looking at the possibility of third-party beneficiaries to the particular business that they have given the loans to. In your own case, would you say that other people have indirectly benefited as a result of the loans that you have gotten from the Bank of Industry?
Well, yes, I would very much say so, in the sense that one, we've shared our experience with other people, and so they have had a bit more, they felt a bit more comfortable working with the Bank of Industry. Sometimes because the process for us creatives can be so rigorous. Sometimes you'll feel that these ones are asking for our dead grandmother, our dead grandfather's bones and all that, and so we leave it halfway through. But they've seen us go through the process, they've seen it materialize into something, so they're more prepared to go through the process themselves.
You have benefited from the Bank of Industry. I would like you to tell the Bank of Industry how you feel about that experience, and also tell your colleagues what opportunities await them at the Bank of Industry.
I guess it will all be tied together. I really do want to thank the Bank of Industry for the leap of faith that they took with us in granting us the facility, in working with us, because it's really a working together. It's been a learning curve, it's been a learning process, but the facility has allowed us to do is to employ more people, pay them a good wage, to expand one's horizons. And whether you're talking about script writers, you're talking about actors, you're talking about people behind the scenes, set builders, and things like that. We've been able to achieve that. Like I mentioned earlier, there are new horizons to conquer. We must get more theatres in place, because when you put up a production and then have to bring it down every week, it's like building a house and bringing down a house every week. It doesn't make sense. It is not cost effective whatsoever. And so we need, and for the sustainability of the industry as well, there needs to be that, and those are the new horizons that we need to conquer. I do know, and I would say to all my colleagues, there is no business on earth that wants to get to the next level. You need funds, and it's nice to have at least cheaper funds than exist in the market. We're still talking to BoI and hoping that they will go lower than that 10%. But like they say, their money is expensive and things like that. But we're still in discussions, especially for this industry that we need, but it's the cheapest funds around for us, especially from the banks, from a bank. And I would, encourage all my colleagues to give them a try with an open mind in the sense that open to learning. I think that's key, an openness to learning, and learning about the business terrain, about the facility acquiring terrain, with people who want you to do well.
Dr. Silva, thank you very much for coming on BoI Weekly.
Thank you for having me, Kadi.
The second round of the Bank of Industry Youth Entrepreneurship Support Program, YES program, is now open to young entrepreneurs within the age bracket of 18 to 35 years. To apply, kindly visit www.onlineregportal.com/dashboard/YES program. Application closes on the 17th of July 2016. Hurry now!
Nigeria records post-harvest losses and wastages annually in the agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation, with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes, and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
Lefodo Productions is just one out of many in the creative industry that continue to benefit from the Bank of Industry. Let me also quickly point out that aside from providing funds for equipment and expansion, the Bank of Industry ensures that the companies that they partner with puts the best governance practices in place so that they can thrive. You're always the better for it with the Bank of Industry on your side. Walk into any of their branches closest to you. Otherwise, visit their website at boi.ng. They have made applying for a loan a lot easier. Just download the BoI SME Loan app from the Google Play Store. Don't forget to tweet at me at KAY Alayande should you have further inquiries. That's our package today. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.